So let's create our very first class, and we're going to create a dog class just to kind of go along with the sample files we did in the PowerPoint in an earlier video. So the first thing that we're going to do is create a class, and we use the word class and the name of the class that you want to create. And I'm going to create a class named dog. And by convention, you don't have to do it this way, but good programming practice dictates that we capitalize the first letter of our class names. And remember that what we're creating here is a blueprint by which we can create many dogs. So we're going to create a blueprint or a class named dog, and we're going to capitalize the first letter of that class. And like we've seen many times before in Python, in order to include code in this block, we are going to use this colon, and then anything we want that's to be included as part of this class then will be indented. So the first thing we'll do is create our class dog, and then the compiler will be upset if I don't put something in here. So for now I'm just going to put the word pass, which is just kind of something that's telling the compiler that I realize code goes here, and I'm going to add some in a little bit, but I just want to demonstrate simply and then progress more and more as we go along. So right now I'm just creating a class dog. Really isn't doing anything. It's just creating kind of a stub for the class. And then in order to create a new object of this class, in other words, to create a dog from our blueprint, I'm going to create a variable name, and then I'll call it dog1. And then what we do is we use the equal sign, we put the class name, case sensitive, so capital D-O-G, and then a parentheses. And by doing this then we've created a new object of the type dog. So we've created a new dog from our blueprint that currently doesn't have any properties or methods like we saw in the PowerPoint, but it's just getting things started. So at the moment, if I print out dog, print dog1, I really haven't done anything with this object, but I just want you to see that if I print it, I get this message indicating that a dog object was created in my main method. And here is the memory address where that dog object is being stored. And just kind of for examples, I'm going to print a second dog, and I'm going to do the same thing where I'm creating a new dog object from my blueprint or my dog class. And then if I print out dog2, you'll see that, see what we've got here when I run it, you can see that I've got now two objects created, and these are simply the memory addresses. That's not really useful information, and we're not going to keep going along with that, but it's just to give you an idea that, or to show you an example that we're creating an object and it's being stored in different places in memory. So not helpful, but that's okay. We'll make this more helpful or make more sense. I'm going to get rid of the rest of this code, and we're just going to create our dog object. All right, so the first thing I want to share is this term. Let's just write it out and then I'll define it. So I'm going to do DEF. We've seen that before. Double underscore, so two underscores. The word init, two underscores, parenthesis, and then the colon. And inside the parenthesis, I'm going to put the word self. Now, immediately, this is something that you might just memorize, but as we get more and more along with these videos, this will make more sense. The idea behind the this module that we're creating, this init module, if you're from other languages, this can also be called a constructor. The idea behind this is that as soon as the dog class, the dog object is created, this method automatically runs. So it's an initializer, so to speak. It's a way for us to initialize variables, or to, if we want to do something at the time we create a dog, like make sure it's got a name and that kind of a thing, we watch this method run at the exact time that this object is created. In other words, let's just do something that's kind of whimsical at the moment. A new dog is born. So the idea here is that when this dog is initiated, when this object is created, when we call this dog class with the parenthesis, the first thing that happens is this method will run because that's what an init method is supposed to do. So by calling it double underscore init double underscore, it's going to run and print this automatically every time we create a new instance of an object or a new dog from our dog class. And self will have meaning in a little bit. For now, just take it at face value. And it can be any word in there, but self is a good one, and it's kind of, again, one of those good standard practice things. You'll see it used a lot. So I'm just going to go with the word self, and I'll explain what that means here pretty soon. So let's just run this and see if that all works. So I'm going to run it, and we can see that that method ran. I didn't have to do anything to make it happen. It ran automatically when I created this dog instance of a dog. So if I create the second dog equals, and I create it from the class dog. So from that blueprint dog, run a second, create a second object, and you'll see that that initializer will run twice. So at the moment, it isn't really doing anything super useful, but again, we're building up in our examples. And so this video is just to demonstrate that this is how we create a class, and we will create a constructor or a module that runs at the time that we instantiate or create a new object from our class. And this is how we do all of those things. So this is a good introduction, and we will elaborate this on the next video.